Well, let's get some more on the strained relation between Turkey and Russia. I'm joined by Dr. Gulnur Aybet, the Head of Political Science and International Relations at Bahcesehir University. Dr. Aybet, thank you very much again for coming in. They've been meeting in Belgrade.
Yes.
What will they have been discussing?
Well, the Russians keep saying publicly that they would like to hear something new, but it's very puzzling as to what they would like to hear when they expect an apology, which Turkey is obviously not going to give, and they keep accusing Turkey of this oil smuggling from Daesh and helping Daesh. So, I mean, like you said, the rhetoric is pretty ramped up on both sides. But the fact that they met, I think, is a good sign, because at the climate summit, Putin did not meet with Erdogan, and although Turkey had been the first to open up some room for dialogue and showing goodwill, so I guess if Lavrov had not met with Çavuşoğlu at this particular OSCE meeting, they would have been looking at the international community as a country that's unresponsive to goodwill. So I guess they had to meet, yeah.
You do have an interesting contrast, though, between the rhetoric that's coming out of Erdogan and Putin, and then these two guys having a meeting in Belgrade.
Well, I mean, the rhetoric's been very sharp from the beginning. And of course, we know that Putin is using a lot of this for his own domestic audience, and also for his regional alliances with Assad and as well as Iran. But on the other hand, I also find that at the G20, he seemed a very sad and isolated leader, because from the very beginning, putting Ukraine aside, which has really put Russia at odds with the rest of NATO and the other countries in the West, Russia's always wanted to be seen as a legitimate partner in the international community in the fight against terror. And especially after the Paris attacks at the G20, they felt more and more isolated, because I think the general reaction from the rest of the countries there was to say that, well, you're not really fighting Daesh, are you? You're actually in Syria fighting the rebels and helping Assad. And I think that made him feel really bad. And he wants to sort of bring that, you know, I am the main country that fights against terrorism back on the table. But I think they're really going about it the wrong way.
Well, just on that, they are accused of bombing Turkmen villages, and there was a mass exodus of people from those villages, which is why the plane was shot down in the first place.
Well, the plane was shot down because it violated Turkish airspace, but there's also an issue, not just an issue that Turkey has, but also the other countries have in the coalition, that Russia is not really doing much in the fight against ISIS. I think everyone has an issue with that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, Dr. Aybet, thank you very much again for coming in. Now.